And although some Tanzimat statement did consider equality to be an ultimate goal, it was the desire to preserve the state that made us mobilize our resources to establish modernization. And as much as I'm not happy about the methods of preserving our states, the end goal is what matters. Therefore, central reforms were in the army and reorganizations happened in two waves, one in 1842 and one in 1869. We reformed our education system, and by 1846, our first comprehensive plan for the state education was put forward. In 1869, we provided free and compulsory education. We built our education based on the example of non-Muslim millet schools because their education was more modern than our Ottoman schools. And to fight the Europeans, we had to do what was necessary, even if it's not in our beliefs as an empire and what we stand for. Tanzimat reformers also wanted to reform the Islamic law and modernize its traditional essence that aided us in getting this far with power. The reforms had moved steadily in the direction of modernization and centralization, but the reformers were handicapped because of a lack of skilled men and financial constraints. They also were, of course, criticized by my people, my legacy. They were opposed by traditionalists who argued that these reforms were destroying the empire's fundamental Islamic character. Anyways, European powers in 1853 stopped our attempt to recover Bosnia, and although the British and French helped a lot with resisting Russian pressure during the Crimean War, we saw no benefits from this so-called peace settlement. 1875 to 1878 was a period of great hardship for my empire. We were 200 million euros in debt from a loan we took in 1854. It started with a drought in 1873 and floods in 1874, which caused agricultural storages and prevented the collection of tax revenues that made it even harder to pay off the debt. The citizens were angry, and as a result they overthrew Sultan Abdulaziz, a man who was Sultan during the period of crisis, and replaced him with an even crazier Sultan Murad V, who was so crazy that he didn't even last a year before the public overthrew him as well. The only accomplishment of Murad V was having the shortest reign of all the sultans. After Murad was overthrown, we got Abdul Hamid II. Abdul Hamid did not have the best start to Sultan either. 1 year in his reign in 1877, we got a war in Russia, the Russo-Turkish War of 1877 until 1878, in which we were defeated and lost parts of Romania, Serbia, Montenegro after we signed the Treaty of Berlin. The war started due to people in Romania and Serbia getting pissed off at us for not supporting them properly, and Russia saw this as an advantage and teamed up with them to wage war against us to help them declare independence. Since I was not Sultan at the time, we ended up losing the war. Just saying. So the beginning of the end started. We lost Tunisia to the French in 1881, which wasn't really a big deal because it was not a huge area, but we lost it anyway. And a year later, we lost Egypt to the Great British. Egypt was almost heading towards bankruptcy and had very weak military. The Brits saw this as an opportunity and overran Egypt's military with theirs until we took over Egypt. Abdul Hamid's reign would go up until 1909, where he was overthrown with the help of the CUP, also known as the Young Turks. They consisted of Ottoman exiles, students, civil servants, and army officers. They favored the replacement of the Ottoman Empire's absolute monarchy with a constitutional government. Their leaders led rebellion against the absolute rule of Sultan Abdul Hamid II in the 1908 Young Turk Revolution. With this revolution, the Young Turks helped to establish the second constitutional era in 1908, creating an era of multi-party democracy for the first time in my country's history. Next in line was Muhammad V, who also had a great start. In just 2 years in his term, he got in a war with Italy from 1911 till 1912, in which the Ottoman provinces, Tripolitania and Cyrenaica, which are known as current-day Libya, Then came the days that would change our history and the world's history forever. It first started in 1914, where the Balkan League, which composed of quadruple alliance between Greece, Serbia, Montenegro, and Bulgaria, conquered and took over our northwest border, which included Macedonia. After World War I ended, the Treaty of Sevres was signed on August 20th of 1920 and Sevres. The treaty included central powers. This treaty allowed the Ottoman Empire to hold Istanbul and parts of Thrace, but gave up Arab provinces and a large part of Asia Minor. However, nobody liked that treaty, and it was taken over by a new treaty called the Treaty of Lausanne, the end of the Ottoman Empire and the birth of Turkey. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this first video of my channel. I hope you don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Salamat!